All right, hey everybody. So here is your remote instruction packet for today. And so on this first page, please don't write anything. We will handle that on Monday. Only thing you need to write is your name, not my name. I'm Miss Elliott. You're somebody else. And so write your name and then join me on the last page. I'm starting with the last page so that way, as you work through this, you'll get to the end and be like, oh yeah, I'm done. Yay. So we're going to start on the last page with kites. Hopefully you didn't get much sickness just then. Characteristics of kites. So list any pre-knowledge you already know about this shape. Well, a lot of kiddos come into this class simply knowing that, yep, a kite is a four-sided shape. Really, it's a four-sided polygon. We'll talk more about this vocab word later. So we have this four-sided shape, and that's probably all you know about it other than that, and then kites fly. And so this is what I'm assuming you know, all right? Obviously, your answers are going to be different on your other pages where you where you will list your pre-knowledge about trapezoids and all the other shapes and so on and so forth. And so it says, what do you notice about opposite sides? So this is purely a observational activity. And so by opposite sides, I mean sides like this side and this side, okay? The sides that are across from each other. That's what opposite sides mean. And so, excuse me, I'm scrolling back up. There are some things that we notice about opposite sides in a rectangle. These are the opposite sides of a rectangle. So back to kites. Back to kites we go. All right, so these opposite sides, what do I notice? Well, 4.2 is not the same as 10.9. So what do you notice about the opposite sides? They're not congruent. I'm sure you can write out congruent. That's a great idea, but I don't love writing, so I'm going to just use the congruent symbol. What do you notice about the opposite angles? Well, I'm noticing that these opposite angles, if this is the same as this and this is the same as that this one pair of opposite angles is congruent. But 49 is not the same as 17. 49 is not the same as 17. Interesting. So what do I notice about the opposite angles? One pair is congruent. Are the diagonals congruent? Well, what are diagonals? This is a diagonal. This is a diagonal. All quadrilaterals have two diagonals. And so, are these diagonals congruent? Are they the same size and shape? Well, we can plainly see with our eyes, not even having to look at the measurements, that, yeah, this is shorter than that. So are the diagonals congruent? No, they are not. Are the diagonals perpendicular? Well, we have to recall what that means. We've talked about it this week. Maybe. Not this week. I've talked about it with a different set of kids, but let's recall that perpendicular means cross or intersect at a right angle. And so we're asking if this diagonal crosses this diagonal at a right angle. Well, in our measured diagram, it does. Are the diagonals perpendicular? Yes, they are. Okay. Do the diagonals bisect each other? So we know bisect means split in half. Split in half, I'm not going to write that down. That's something we should have adopted into our brains by now. but bisect means split in half. Do the diagonals split each other in half? Well, this is not half of that. However, we can see by the measurements 2.1 is congruent to 2.1. So what have we noticed so far? We have one pair of congruent opposite angles, and we have one diagonal that is bisected. Do the diagonals bisect angles? So do they split angles in half? Well, if I look, this diagonal is not splitting this angle in half. However, this diagonal does split these angles in half. So one diagonal is an angle bisector. So your job for the rest of this packet is to go through and see what you notice and what you observe. I'm pretty sure all these questions are the same for every shape, and so there's lots to observe, and this will be our introduction to discovering the characteristics of quadrilaterals, four-sided shapes. And so what we're going to do right now is, because this is a Edpuzzle, right? Maybe, we'll see. Is we're going to look at this parallelogram. And you're going to answer a couple of questions before you move on and get this done. Well, thank y'all so much for watching this. Please finish your packet before you come to class on Monday. It shouldn't take you that long, honestly. It really shouldn't take more than 30 minutes to finish this. So work on that, and I will see you on Monday, and I am tentatively available from 3:30 to 4 o'clock today, should you have any questions. But I'm also getting vaccinated. So, yeah, see y'all Monday. Bye.